All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. All right, y'all, make sure y'all subscribe. Welcome back to All Boxing Everything. Back with another video. All right, y'all. So Chris Colbert versus Hector Garcia. Definitely had to come back and give you my post-fight thoughts on this fight, man. First off, I have to say, look, shout out to Hector Garcia, man. He took this fight on short notice, and he came in there and put in that work. I mean, there's no better way to put it. This guy came in there to fight. He fought his behind off. I mean, Chris Colbert, look, I respect him as an athlete, respect him as a technician in there, but look, you can never go in there and underestimate these guys. I mean, the MMA world, you'll really have your eyes open if you go into the MMA world when it comes down to that, because there's just so much that can happen in that world. Like, you can never just underestimate a guy who comes in off a 2 or 3 day notice, because they have so many more tools to their advantage. Whereas in boxing, you would think, okay, this guy's on short notice, but still, you never know, because what I saw in this fight was a guy in Hector Garcia that not only had the heart and the hunger to get the fight, but he just had a lot of good tools that just offset a guy like Chris Colbert. And I mean, moving forward in the future, there's going to be a blueprint now on how to beat Chris Colbert. And what Hector Garcia showed in this fight, I mean, people can make excuses and say, oh, maybe Chris Colbert was off that night. Well, he was taking on a guy in Garcia that was fighting off short notice, okay? So Hector Garcia already kind of put out a blueprint now on how to beat Chris Colbert. I mean, this is something I always said in the past when you're dealing with fast fighters, flashy fighters. The best thing to do is just stay consistent with that one basic tool that I talk about on all my channels, the jab. That's right. That one simple tool, that jab, your positioning, your stance, and just being consistent with that jab, and really committing to those straight punches and timing and timing. Hector Garcia, he just really timed Chris Colbert in this fight and just really took the fight to him, and Chris Colbert didn't expect that. And this might be another video, but Chris Colbert just couldn't get the respect because he didn't have enough power. Like, I'm not really a big fan of just saying guys need power, you guys need power, but you need some type of respectable pop on your shots, and that's something that Chris Colbert just did not have in this fight. In the first few rounds of this fight, Chris Colbert looked like he wanted to stay in the pocket. And that right there, to me, I thought that was dangerous, because Garcia liked that. Like, when he came into the pocket, Garcia didn't even have to do much thinking. Like, he just set up some nice boxing. He just started boxing nicely on the inside. Timing Colbert, every time he stepped in, he would mix it up. He would go around the guard of that peekaboo guard of Colbert. He'd go around the side with his right hooks, then he would go to the body. He would stick those left hands to the body. And right away I could see Colbert kind of switching stances. It was almost like Chris Colbert was uncomfortable. And this was the first round. Colbert was already kind of getting into a groove. Again, going into that second round, that high guard wasn't working because Garcia was just picking his shots. Like, he wasn't just thumping shots on the guard. Hector Garcia was actually like picking nice punches. Like, he would go up the guard, split the guard with the uppercut, then he would go around the side with body shots. I think Colbert, he was trying to get in this mode like he could trade with this guy on short notice, but he just didn't have that type of pop to get the respect, because Garcia would come right back, hit him with hard punches, and just stay in the pocket and boxing. Colbert, wasn't really using his feet like a flashy fighter, but he was stepping in and out at angles, and then he would step inside and position his head where he could slip a lot of Colbert's power shots. Here and there he took one or two, but he would slip, come back with a good counter right hook, and then that straight left hand down the middle. Then he'd go right back to the jab. Garcia was just taking the fight to him, like, first half of this fight, landing good body shots and right hooks. Colbert, I'd say maybe like first half, I could only give him one round. I'd say it was like 5 rounds to 1 the first half. Garcia was just really taking the fight to him, like, with good, consistent, straight shots. The Garcia jab and timing was just really knocking Colbert back, and Colbert just had to keep resetting. He kept trying to find a way in, but he couldn't get it. So going into that 7th round, here's where it just went downhill. Colbert started boxing, but he couldn't really get that respect because Garcia's jab was just too much. Every time he steps in, boom, there's the jab. So Colbert, he's trying to, like, it looked like he was trying to, set up a little feint and step in, but he didn't see that coming, man. That straight left hand, he stepped right into it. Good counter left, just drops him hard on his back. It caught him right as he stepped into the pocket with Garcia. So from there, it just really went down. Garcia was just beating Colbert up. Even in that 8th round, his power was just overwhelming for Garcia. Like, it wasn't enough to knock him down and out, but it was enough to get his respect. So Colbert, I'd say all the way to the championship rounds, he just really looked lost. He just looked like he was getting outworked because there's just a couple rounds where he just looked like he was going through the motions. You could see it in his eyes. He was like almost like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like, you could read it on his face. So Hector Garcia, to me, this wasn't like a fluke, what I seen, what he could do, because it was just complete control and just a really good skill set that I think Chris Colbert hasn't faced yet in his career, right? So that just shows you that the skill set of Garcia, this wasn't just like him going in there saying, okay, this is going to be a one-night thing. No, this guy whooped Chris Colbert for 11 rounds. By the end of the fight, I had 11 rounds to 1. Some people don't even want to give the third round to Chris Colbert, but that's the only round I could give him. I respect him as a fighter, but hey, I'm going to be honest, man. Like, Chris Colbert was getting his behind whooped in here on the inside, outside. He was getting timed, and he was just getting pressured. And I mean, that just comes with the territory. If you let your voice get ahead of your actions. You know what I mean? I mean, even Chris Colbert's trainer said it. I heard it in the corner. I think it was in the round 5 or 6 when he sat down. He was like, "Come on, you need to get in there and do this." He was like, "You did all that talk." I heard that. I know some of y'all probably heard it. He said something like his trainer was like, "You did all that talk, but they cut it off. They went to the other corner." So yeah, like, even his trainer knew, hey, you got to go in there and back that trash talking up. You talk a lot of trash about this guy. You're going to go in there and beat him, disrespected him. What'd he do? He came in there and put a clinic on. Very good boxing clinic. Like, that's why I say, like, it wasn't just like some basic stuff Hector Garcia was doing because Colbert was off. Like, he was off this night. No, like, he was actually boxing, roughing him up and outworking him and, just doing a lot of good slipping. You know what I mean? So all in all, I just think that, Hector Garcia was the better fighter and he's more committed to certain skills that he has. I think Chris Colbert in this fight, well, first off, Chris Colbert's never faced a guy like this. That's why he wasn't really able to show what people could think is his best. He just got exposed in some ways, if that makes sense. Like, it just showed you that he couldn't make that adjustment to this type of boxer that's going to just stay right there in front of him, that's going to fight stationary, right? He couldn't get the respect. He had to keep resetting. He couldn't get his own jab going, so he just kind of fell behind and, just got knocked out of the groove by a guy that, he took on short note, took this fight on short notice. So yeah, man, yeah, guys, from here, we'll see what happens next with Chris Colbert. I think he just got to go back to the drawing board and work because, yeah, this was a clear loss where, Hector Garcia's skills did the job. It wasn't like Chris Colbert fought a power puncher that just knocked him out or, just beat him up with power and, he couldn't take power. This was an all around, I think, just schooling where he wasn't prepared for this type of test. That's what it was, y'all. So yeah, shout out to Hector Garcia. We'll see where he goes from here. I think he said, he could fight as high as 140, but he could do 126 and 130. So we'll see where he goes from 130. I mean, I'd like to see him in a Tank fight, see if Tank could handle that type of boxing skill. I mean, Tank has more power and Tank can fight more in the pocket, so that might be dangerous for Hector Garcia. But, hey, I like to see those fights. I want to see the best fight the best. So, yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. All boxing everything. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm out. Peace.